years, 4 months, and 22 days old when he won the heavyweight title, beating Trevor Berbick. Floyd Patterson was 21 years and 10 months. So to date, Mike Tyson calls that his proudest moment. He's got more to come, you have an idea.
Let's remember that all those other fellas were the one and only champions, however.
Here are the shortest heavyweight title bouts. Jim Jeffries handled Jack Finnegan in 55 seconds, and a fight that we did here on HBO. Michael Dokes beating Mike Weaver in 1 minute and 3 seconds, and that graphic is up there, of course, because there's a great school of thought that says this fight is going to fall somewhere on that board. Fall maybe.
大家好，老师从业中医男科30余年，帮助了数千名海内外华人朋友通过中药调理重回男性雄风。如果你也存在房事时间短、勃起无力、硬度差、中途疲软、肾虚、前列腺炎等问题，现在就加中医老师微信574-993-200，纯中药，一人一方，治根治本，帮助你持续坚挺20至40分钟，补肾壮阳，延时助勃，彻底告别快男软男。记住微信574-993-200。
Mike Tyson. 28 up, none down, 26 knockouts, 2 fights going.
All in 2 years, Barry. His first professional fight a year from last night.
This has been his longest layoff, 104 days, a totally insignificant number, I think. You know, all the stories of no robe, no socks. Says it makes him feel like a gladiator.
Sockless, but not punchless.
That's 5 knockouts in the first 30 to 50 seconds. And, of course, as we said, a lot of people think this one is not going to go too far. You know, the
odds are 8-5, Barry, that the fight doesn't go past 4 rounds.
You know, one popular school of thought, Larry, is that you can't stand in front of Mike Tyson. You have to go side to side if you're going to have any chance at all against him. And, of course, Bone Crusher Smith's history is to come straight ahead.
I would think that there's also a theory that if you're going to fight Bone Crusher Smith, you shouldn't go straight ahead. His advantage, obviously, is in his fast hands. And in the pressure he puts on opponents. There's been a lot of talk about pressure on a young man being a champion, being so prominent, but it's the pressure he puts on opponents that's crucial.
Marvis Fraser, of course, one of 3 common opponents. Results similar amongst the bottom 2 that you see, but Marvis Fraser knocked out by Mike Tyson in 1 round. Smith lost a controversial decision in 10 rounds to Marvis Fraser, but when we talked to Bone Crusher Smith, he said that fight really turned his career around. It gave him a lot of confidence, and most important, it made him mad. Kevin Rooney,
30-year-old trainer.
And here's Bone Crusher Smith now making his way toward the ring. Both popular fighters, incidentally. I don't think you'll hear a lot of boos here.
In exchange for the right to come second into the ring, Bone Crusher Smith gave the right to the Tyson people to name the gloves they want. And interestingly enough, Tyson's gloves are Everlast gloves instead of Ray's gloves because they feel Ray's gloves are the knockout gloves. There you see James Bone Crusher Smith's weights over in recent fights. He weighs 5 pounds more than he did when he stopped Witherspoon in the first round. He weighed 240 when he stopped Mike Weaver, another ex-champion, in the first round. He says he's lifted some weights since the Witherspoon fight to add strength to his shoulders because he wants to control Tyson from outside, he says.
And here comes Bone Crusher Smith now, being led by Emil Griffith, his handler, trainer.
Another point about those gloves, Barry, Jimmy Jacobs, the co-manager of Tyson, has been belittling the punching power of Smith all this time. But when it came down to the crunch, he decided he didn't want Smith to have the puncher's gloves. So that tells us what they really think. And what to keep in mind here is nobody wants to fight a big slugger, not even other sluggers.
I think that's very true. As a matter of fact, he's a very intelligent guy and he's very eloquent, but when we talked to him about what he's going to do in this fight, he was very succinct. He said, I'm going to put some leather on his ass. Here's the tail of the tape, and Smith, of course, 13 years the senior of Mike Tyson. Otherwise, really, not a lot to choose in these numbers. 14-pound.
The 11-inch reach is much discussed, but Tyson says when you go to fight a kid in the street, you don't ask how long his reach is. And here is punch stat again to give us a quantitative look at the number of punches Tyson and Smith throw in rounds. Roughly similar, but look how accurate Tyson is compared to Smith. Now here's a qualitative look at their punches. Tyson not only throws more hard punches, hooks and crosses, but lands significantly more of those punches. Again, attesting to his hand speed.
Here are the rules for this fight. 10-point must system. 3 judges score the fight. Almost the same as the rules we saw in the Biggs Bay fight, with one exception, and that is that the 3 knockdown rule in this fight will be in effect. Combined rules of the WBA and WBC. Let's now go to the ring announcer, Chuck Hull, for the pre-fight introductions. Chuck?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Las Vegas Hilton Sports Arena, where tonight the dynamic duo, in association with the Las Vegas Hilton Hotel, presents the Super Fight, sponsored by Miller Lite. This bout is sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission, Dwayne Ford, Chairman, Harold Buck, the Executive Director, the Commissioners at ringside, Mr. Sammy Macias, Mr. Sig Rogic, and Mr. Herb Santos. The WBC representatives at ringside, the president of that body, Jose Suleiman, and the representative, Ray Clark. The WBA representatives at ringside, the president of that body, Gilberto Mendoza, and the representative, James Benz. The officials assigned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission for the main event of the evening, the judges are Lou Tabbitt, Dalby Shirley, and Jojo Guerra. The timekeeper is Mike Lachella. Counting at the knockdowns, Mike Morabito. The attending physicians at ringside, Doctors Donald Romeo, Flip Homansky, and Elias Ghanem. And your referee is Mills Lane. This is the main event of the evening. 12 rounds of boxing for the unification of the WBC and the WBA heavyweight championships. Introducing, in the red corner, fighting out of Magnolia, North Carolina, weighing in at 233 pounds, with a professional record of 19 wins, 5 defeats, with 14 KOs. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the WBA heavyweight champion of the world, James Bone Crusher Smith. And in the blue corner, from Catskill, New York, weighing 219 pounds. He is undefeated in his professional career with 28 wins, no defeats, 26 KOs. He is the WBC heavyweight champion of the world, Iron Mike Tyson.
Kevin? Okay, now, one step back, one little bit. Okay, now, we've gone over all the instructions in the dressing room, and if it's for the title, any questions from Mr. Smith or his chief second? Any questions from Mr. Tyson or his chief second? All right, let's get it on, come on.
You never know what's going to happen when a man gets hit harder than he's ever been hit before, and it's possible for both fighters here. This fight has already gone longer than some people expected.
Harold, how do you see it so far? First round. Tyson right on Smith's chest. Strong left jab by Tyson.
All right, come on, don't push your
The first right hand by Smith. Nowhere near its mark.
It's also a straight right hand, and Smith will often come from right to left. Like that. Left to right.
Step back clean. Step back, don't push. Come on.
Tyson unloading on Smith. Counter-punching right hand.
Come on.
If you notice a tactic Smith is using, that he raises his arms and is trying to make Tyson punch around his arms, which is a long way to go for a much shorter man. So look for Tyson to try to come straight up the middle with an uppercut.
Three-punch combination, two of them landed heavily.
Step back, don't hold on. Come on, step back.
Although he's very aggressive, Tyson prides himself on also being a good defensive fighter. He hasn't been hit solidly very often.
Step back, hold on. You can't hold him up. Come on, man, box, come on. Step back, Mike. Step back. Step back.
Tyson does have to lunge up at him a little bit.
This hasn't turned into the train wreck everybody was looking for yet.
Smith is being very patient, actually.
I've never seen anything quite like that in the ring before.
Listen, you have to finish with that left hook. Understand? You only throw one punch at a time. You want to use your jab more. Every time you throw it, get it around. Jab, jab, hook to your left, throw the hook to the body. You understand? Right hand, left hook. Always finish with a left hook to the head. And make it miss.
Oh, another thing. Come on. Crush your gun with that some fucking side punch. Don't close your eyes. Look at him and punch.
Deep breath.
You the jab first, Crush. You hear me?
Step with it.
Take a look at what happened. The round is over a good 5 seconds. They've exchanged some words, and Tyson lost his cool. That's the first time I've ever seen him lose his cool before, during, or after a fight.
Very true. You know, another thing, too, in Smith's corner, you heard Smith say, let me have the towel down on my shoulders. And I don't know if you feel it, Larry, but there's all of a sudden a cool breeze coming through here. And a cut over the right eye of Bone Crusher Smith. We'll try to tell you how serious.
From. That's the same eye that Larry Holmes opened up. But I can't see as yet where it is.
Now, I said the right eye. It's the left eye of Bone Crusher Smith.
Step back. Step back.
A lot of blood, but the blood right at the moment does not appear to be going into the eye, but rather alongside it, very similar to that of Tyrell Biggs.
Tyson is unable to get off those Gatling gun combinations because Smith is just thwarting him and staying away and laying on him, using his big long arms.
And Mills Lane has deducted a point from Bone Crusher Smith for holding Mike Tyson.
Smith got in a good right hand. Tyson walked right through it.
And that's significant.
Now the blood is leaking into the eye right now.
Yeah, it is, and I was going to say one of the differences between this cut and the cut on Tyrell Biggs is that Tyrell Biggs was fighting David Bay and not Mike Tyson.
This is becoming a hitting and holding contest, not very appealing or dramatic.
Get back. Get back.
And you hear the crowd start to boo. It's the first time I've ever heard a crowd boo at a Mike Tyson fight.
Has got into Mike Tyson.
Give me that towel. You've got to move your hands.
That's it, Jimmy.
Not bad. You've got to move your hands, Crusher. Not bad. Crusher, got to move your hands. Throw the right hands, Crusher.
You dropped it out. Holy shit. Let's see if we can catch the butt that apparently caused this punch. Right there. Right there. There you see the blood starting to trickle already down the left eye.
1-2. 1-2, Crusher. 1-2. 1-2, Crusher.
In the corner. Here we go.
Tyson has made Smith look very, very awkward. Just a big lunging fellow now against the speed of Tyson, who is a difficult target because of his size in any event.
Come on.
And that was indicated in the punch stat numbers that you saw a moment ago. Only 23% effectiveness for Bone Crusher Smith.
Step back. Step back.
It may be that Tyson is frustrated because he's been unable to land real combinations the way he does in the gyms and on most opponents. Smith is just fighting a defensive fight, and Tyson can't do anything. There you saw him coming around the arm once again, unable to get any leverage into his punches.
Tyson hit him a very good right hook a moment ago, and that really opened the cut up a little bit more. And there's no question but that the cut is bothering Smith because the blood is getting in the eye.
When a fighter puts as much pressure on an opponent as Tyson does, his opponent often just becomes defensive. And Smith has done a lot of that.
Smith got another straight right hand in, but it's only one punch and having no effect whatsoever on Tyson.
Okay, boy.
Smith, Larry, appears just to be trying to tee off and catch Tyson on the way in.
That's his puncher's chance. Right now, it doesn't look like much of a chance.
Come on, you guys.
Tyson seems to be headhunting as well. He should be working on the body. He's having a hard time getting all the way up to his head. He has to bring down his guard.
And he usually is a devastating body puncher. He seems to be fighting a more emotional fight than I've seen him fight.
Let's see him.
Not bad.
Okay. Not much deeper.
We didn't think we'd need you, Harold.
Well,
How do you see it?
Larry, I've got Mike Tyson ahead by 4 points. He's doing all the fighting, and Bone Crusher Smith, his strategy seems to be hold on, survive the first few rounds, and maybe get him later on.
Tell him. Crusher, got to move your hands. You're doing good, but you're not doing good enough. Move your jab first. Jab him first, then cross.
You got to turn around a little bit. You're in great shape. Turn around and get inside, fight this guy. Fight this guy. You're only doing a little bit of spot. Use your jab more. If you want to rest, use your jab. Just snap that 7 out. Relax your grip. Punch when you get it.
Now both corners telling their charge to use the jab more, and in Tyson's corner telling him to fight more. Emil Griffith, you heard him say jab, then cross. Cut right at the moment has not opened up again, and it's actually not directly above the eye. It's more up on the forehead, but enough so that the blood does flow into the eye.
Hold him, hit. Come on, hit. Come on, get back.
Blood now from the cut. And now Bone Crusher Smith going backwards.
We thought neither one of these fellas had a reverse gear, but Bone Crusher has just showed us his.
Watch the head. Watch the head coming in. Come on, come on, come on.
There was a big right hand by Tyson.
Smith has reduced Tyson to having to hunt for him with one shot rather than combinations.
Step back, come on, 2 people step back.
Bone Crusher may be trying to take a little bit of a blow here in this round.
All right, let's step back, come on.
There's no way to train to fight like fighting a guy like Tyson with the pressure that he puts on you by keep coming at you. It's like a quarterback going against a Chicago Bear blitz. All of a sudden, everything is speeded up, and if you don't have the quickness of mind and hand to deal with that speeded up, suddenly you look like a rank amateur, which Smith looks like here.
And as you said, he's just walking through anything that Smith offers on the way in. There's no resistance at all. Dance continues here.
You're not doing enough. You're not using your jab enough.
Listen, Oh, give me. But listen, you got to knock him out to do it.
Oh, okay.
Don't wait.
Stay away from the guy. He's only looking for one shot on you. Your defense tight. You got to be even more aware now. You understand? You can't get lazy. You can't get careless. Spit it out. Yeah.
Well, we want to remind you of an upcoming show here on HBO, The Road to the Super Fight. That, of course, the fight between Marvelous Marvin Hagler and Sugar Ray Leonard. Tuesday, March 10th at 10:30 Eastern, 9:30 Central. We'll take an in-depth look at the Hagler-Leonard fight, have some exclusive interviews, training camp visits, and footage of past fights.
Come on, seconds out. In the corner, please. In the corner. In the corner. There we go.
And you heard Bone Crusher Smith say, let me just get myself together here. Now we'll see if he can. Getting a good example right here of how Mike Tyson just does not allow Smith to get his punches off.
And that Mike Tyson is very quick. He sees these punches coming. They're not quick punches, and he's able to duck them very easily.
Smith saying to Tyson, come on, but
Step back clean, both of you.
That is merely words.
Smith appears totally confused and frustrated. That walkabout and this one right here, I have no idea what it's supposed to do.
All right, one step back, quick punch here. One step back, both of you. One step back, boys. One step back. Hey, boys. One step back, clean. Both of you. One step back.
Unless Smith figures out something fast, his heavyweight reign will last 85 days, and that will be it.
And it doesn't appear really that Smith has a clue right at the moment how to solve this puzzle.
Come on, here, boy.
There is another big right hand by Tyson. That's the first one that really backed Smith up. Not really what we expected, Larry.
Smith right now is fighting basically a fight for survival, throwing a few hard punches in the hopes of connecting and making something happen.
Double right hand that time by Tyson.
And he appears to be getting tired as well.
Locked in. One step clean. Clean ball. What is this?
Gotta do more of that. Gotta do more of that. Relax. Well, this guy hasn't won a round, but the rounds right now here are going to be a little stinky, you understand? But this guy ain't doing nothing. You're just letting him tie you up. I want to use your 8 more, like you just did there in the end. Right there in the end, you use it. Give him the 8.
Come on. You got him, Crusher. It's not balancing.
This thing quick.
Move your hands. Move your hands. You hear me? Box him and move your hands. Move the hands to combination. Come on. Move.
Use 8. Straight right hand or left hook to the body. Then make the slip like that and hook to the head. Understand?
In the corner, Mr. Smith.
You win it easy.
Please. In the corner. Here we go.
Well, you saw those punch stat numbers. Bone Crusher Smith has landed 16 punches in this fight. 3 a round is not going to get it done. And a man in a black trunks is the reason for it.
Every great fighter has had fights in which an awkward opponent has made them look something less than great. I'm not saying Mike Tyson is a great fighter yet. He's a great young fighter. But he's just against an opponent here who's in there to survive and hold as he is now.
Step back. Step back.
And I must say, Bone Crusher Smith is the one fighter I did not think would fight that way. Pretty good exchange there. One punch on both parts, though.
Step back, Jim. One step back, Mike. One step back, homie. Attaboy.
Bone Crusher just kind of taunting Mike Tyson. I'm not sure why.
Tyson doesn't want to get on his chest and be held, so he's staying outside now, but with his short arms, he can't punch from outside.
I don't know, it might just be frustration on the part of Bone Crusher Smith. He hasn't been able to hit him the conventional way. Left hand.
One real good jab right there. You're not punching when you come inside. You're not using your jab. You're winning easy. You want to win easier? Use your jab. Just concentrate on your jab. Will you do that for me?
Harold Letterman.
Well, Larry, it's very one-sided. Mike Tyson, I've got him ahead 6-0. I've got him ahead by 8 points. Bone Crusher Smith started to open up in a little bit in the 5th round, but certainly he didn't do enough to win a round yet.
Come here. You're scratching my face. You're scratching me.
Move your hands, come on. Thanks, jab. You can bend downstairs and punch. Maybe it's one punch. Go one punch. You're winning easy. But make it exciting.
Well, perhaps the most punishment inflicted in this fight so far by Mills Lane. You heard Bone Crusher Smith yell at him, say, "You're scratching me when you break us." There's the left hand. And now Tyson moves in.
All right, we step back, Smith. We step back. We step back, bro. Step back clean, both boys. One step back clean. Attaboy, one step back.
$750 ringside for this.
Pretty hard to believe. Could have gone to see Wayne Newton.
Step back, on. Here we go. Whoa. Get off that neck. Hey, go. Hey, ho. Jim, get off that neck. Come on. Get off, hey, get off the net. Come on, here we go.
Earlier, Barry, I mentioned how other heavyweights didn't think as much of Tyson, with the apparent exception of Michael Spinks, who's given up his title so he doesn't have to fight him. Right now, he's making those heavyweights a little braver.
Come on, Mike. Back one step back, both of you. Here we go.
A lopsided and basically uninteresting fight.
The only interesting thing here is to watch Tyson and how he tries to deal with this. And I don't think he's dealing with it right. I mean, it's a frustrating fight. It's a hard fight. Smith just isn't there to be punched. But Tyson doesn't seem to be going about it professionally to try to break him down in some way. Punching to the body, perhaps.
I don't know if you heard Tyson say when he went back to his corner after the last round, he said he doesn't want to fight. There was a body shot. That was not a punch. That was not a punch.
Tyson got off the floor and looked at Smith with disdain, as if to say, are you kidding me? You think that's a punch? Smith's eye springs open again. Smith landed 2 decent left hands.
And he took one right there.
Well, Smith got man enough to fight back at the end of that round. There you see Tyson falling off balance. A little embarrassed. Does a 360.
Give me that stuff.
Up the middle, Crusher! Up the middle! Uppercut right hand! Up the middle! Uppercut! Up the middle, Crusher!
7-7, moving in, staying and get inside, get your hand free and bang. You know what's happening now? The bear having the gym is putting your arms around the back. You got a control, you got to break it right now. You're winning easy.
Emil Griffith instructed Smith to try to throw some uppercuts as Tyson comes in on him.
Get off that neck. Come on, go on. Get off the neck, Jim. You know better than that. Come on, get off the neck.
Strikes me as just that Tyson is just there so quickly that you just can't get set to punch.
All right, Mike, what's the hit? What's the hit? What's the hit?
I don't recall Tyson throwing any uppercuts in this fight. It appears to me that what Smith has been instructed to do is to hold his arms up once again so that Smith's roundhouse punches can't get to his head. And I think that he's got to go to the body and come up with some uppercuts in order to hurt Smith and land something solid.
All right, come on, one step back. Step back. Come on, Smith. You're trying to come on. Two hands are free. Come on, come on.
One step back, Crusher!
I have a question, Barry. You think Tyson looks impressive enough to fight Tyrell Biggs in his next fight?
Step back. You have to set lines again, Jim. What happens? You keep holding. Come on.
Relatively, it makes Tyrell Biggs' performance look a little better, though.
Step back, Mike.
Tyson had a pretty good left hand there.
Step back. Here we go. Step back. Hold. Just hold. I punch it. Hold it. Hit. Come on.
Mike Tyson. Tyson just unable to really throw too many combinations in this fight.
One point here.
Another point being deducted for holding. Second time.
Mills Lane is trying to get them to fight.
Let's take a look at some results from elsewhere today. Thomas Hearns defeated Dennis Andres. Technical knockout at 134 of the 10th round. That for the WBC Light Heavyweight Championship. And earlier here, Edwin Rosario, very impressive in defeating Roger Brown. One-punch knockout, big right hand, 134 of the second round. Rosario, the champion. Azuma Nelson held on to his WBC featherweight title with a victory over Mauro Gutierrez. That knockout coming at 33 seconds of the sixth round.
Short uppercuts. Short uppercuts and left execution. Well, Cameron, when let go. Okay?
Just a jab, slipping and hitting. 5 minutes to come to slip and hit. A lot of jabs. You're winning easy. Keep it up. You look good.
Here we go.
Well, Kevin Rooney with a great understatement. You're winning easy. Tyson's actually winning easier than easy.
The only way he could win easier is on a forfeit.
There was a combination by Tyson. Smith seems to reach the bottom of the tank here.
All right, one step back, one step back, Gene. One step back. Come on, clean both of you. Come on, here we go.
That uppercut by Smith was just a little short.
One step back. All right, one step back, Green. Come on, let him go. One step back. Here we go.
This is a sort of test of Tyson's concentration in a way. He's winning so easily that he doesn't want to make a very bad mistake and just get nailed.
And I'm sure tucked somewhere in the back of Mike Tyson's head is the Smith-Bruno fight when Bruno came out of nowhere after losing the fight very similarly to this one to knock out Frank Bruno. Admittedly, Bruno is not Mike Tyson.
All right, get one back, one step. Guys locked in. Head over, one step back. Here we go. All right, one step back, both of you. Come on, get out of it. One step back. Clean. Head over, hook.
Big right hand.
Come on, step back. Come on, let's go step it. Come on. Okay, wait, hold on. One step back. Okay, come on, one step back. Come on.
Tyson has been headhunting throughout this fight, and I don't recall him getting any instructions from his corner to stop it either.
No, in fact, the only instructions were jab, jab, jab.
Ice. Give me the ice. He's still not throwing enough 7, but that was a better round. How you feel? Great. You feel okay? All right, then why don't we put some pressure on this guy? He's just trying to control himself.
Cut this tape off.
And then he's going to tell Mills that the guy's holding, okay?
That's all coming up, huh? You cannot. This guy is stealing the fight from you.
I'm listening with my right hand, bro.
Well, don't forget the right hand. Come back. Straight under. Come back. Don't throw one punch. Right hand alone. Come back with the left hook.
And we'll remind you of another show coming your way on HBO. Interesting show, in fact. Greatest Sports Upsets, hosted by Tim McCarver, produced by Ross Greenberg. It premieres Sunday, April 5th.
I don't think we're going to have to add some footage from this fight to that show.
No, I don't think so. And if we do, it would be.
Come on now, you guys. Let's do it. Box. Come on.
We wonder what they're going to take out of this for the highlights.
All right, one step back. Quit punching, Mike. Quit punching. One step back, Smitty. One step back. Don't punch.
Not Mike Tyson's fault. It takes two to fight.
I just think Smith is so frustrated by Tyson, and was early on, that he just kind of said the hell with it.
He's been wearing a big cowboy hat around here all week, and right now I'd have to say he's all hat and no cattle.
Come on, step back. Come on. Step back. Step back.
Cut has opened up again over the eye of Bone Crusher Smith.
I imagine Larry Holmes is sitting there in eastern Pennsylvania and thinking, well, if they come up with the money, I just might take a shot at this.
Yeah, that's the thing. A fight like this brings them all out of the woodwork.
George Foreman is starting his comeback on Monday.
Get back, come on.
Point out that Bone Crusher Smith has only been down once in his career, and that was in his first fight.
In his defense, Bone Crusher is apparently trying his best. That just isn't good enough.
Just wants to go the distance, but my friend, you're letting him do it. You're letting him do it by not putting a good pressure on. Behind the jab, you only do it in spots. This is the 11th round coming up.
I feel great.
Maybe it's game plan well. He thinks you're going to get tired, maybe. You just show him that you ain't going to get tired. You understand? Spit it out.
This Crusher got 2 rounds to go. 2 rounds to go, Crusher. Do what you got to do. Do it good. You could do it, Crusher.
Oh, right hand under. He coming on top.
Forget the right hand. Throw left hook to the body. Forget the right hand. You're going right hand crazy. You can't nothing to right.
Left hook to the body.
Left hook to the body. And right hand on top. Forget the right hand.
And use your jab and then
jab.
Getting no meat on this motherfucker. He's sticking the joint out.
Trying to get moving.
I'm pretty good.
Land the big punch.
Round 11. Thought I heard Kevin Rooney say that this is your last round to Mike Tyson.
Step back, come on, Mike. Step back. Come on, Smitty. Come on.
But there are, in fact, 2 to go.
Step here. Come on. both of them. Come on, Smitty. Attaboy. Hey. All right, come on.
One thing I can tell you, Bone Crusher Smith tomorrow morning is going to feel like his face was hit with a bag of rocks.
All right, we step back. Step back, Jim. We step back, Mike. We step back. Here we go. Step back, Jim. Hold on. Step back. Here we go.
But Mike Tyson is a prideful athlete, and he really wants to look better. If he doesn't, it's just not there. Some days, an outstanding athlete or an outstanding team just doesn't have the opponent opposite that can make him do his stuff.
And that's certainly been the case tonight. I think the biggest thing is that we didn't expect it to be that way.
Yep.
Step back. Step back. Here we go.
There was a body shot by Mike Tyson, one of the few he's thrown.
He should have had about 50 more by now.
Come on, Mike. Come on, boom. Oh, here we go.
That's a big difference between Tyson and Joe Frazier. Tyson has been compared to Frazier for obvious reasons. Joe Frazier was a murderous body puncher. He didn't care who he was in there with. He killed the body first, and the head will go.
Give me the water. Come here, open up. There you go, man. Give me that truck. You got a big round in you? Get on this guy smart. Get on this guy smart. We got you. Get on this guy smart. This guy's gonna come out. His only trust over.
Hey, stay still. Don't move.
Keep still.
Whatever you got left, go away. Okay? Because you got enough to beat this guy.
You okay?
Come on. You still
Right hand. Get close. Use a little speed. Close the show. This guy's sticking the joint out.
Larry, I've got Tyson ahead by 14 points. 15 points. It's just no contest.
If this was a football game, the score would be 35-0. A baseball game, 15-0. And yet it's dissatisfying because prize fighting is drama and theater. And when you have a great athlete and you want to see him perform and tested, and he's not performing and he's not being tested.
All right, one step back. Make a last good round, you guys. Come on, one step back. Hey, attaboy. Here we go. All right, step back. Come on, one step back clean. Both of them. Come on, step back. Here we go.
What we're going to start reading about and hearing about Tyson now is, come on, fellas, he's not as good as Ali, he's not as good as Frazier, and in truth, he's not as good as they are. He hasn't had the record to show it yet.
I think
but it's been said about every champion.
And it's been said about Mike Tyson by Mike Tyson also. He has said he's not great yet.
Joe Louis wasn't as good as Dempsey, and Ali wasn't as good as Lewis.
Speaking of theater,
well, we needed something. I didn't know that it would be comic relief coming from either of these kind of serious fellows.
well, minute and 15 to go in this one. Assuming we've kept you awake.
Tyson is trying everything he can to try to get in one good punch. They are being booed, and I imagine even Tyson is the target of some of them, but Smith should be the target.
Well, the crowd, variation on a theme of a barnyard cheer.
Well, they are yelling Tyson, Tyson. They want him to end this dramatically as well if he can.
That was a right hand by Smith. That actually backed Tyson up.
That was the best punch of the fight. We thought we would see that in the first 10 seconds, not in the last 10 seconds.
And it is over.
It was too late with too little for Bone Crusher Smith. Where was that an hour ago?
And I'm sure that's exactly what Bone Crusher Smith is going to be asking himself. Styles make fights. That has been said on so many occasions, and that was the case here tonight. Only in this case, Styles did not make a fight. And it was a dance in large part for 12 rounds. Tyson trying to do everything he could. Let's take another look at that action right at the end, and I'm sure Mike Tyson, the next time we talk to him, is going to say that was one of the hardest shots he's taken. It definitely backed him up. Here's another look at it. Smith coming from down around the shoe tops. What a wild swinging and holding. That was pretty much the story of the fight. Winging left hand as you look from our up top camera. And there's a look at a face that is going to smart come tomorrow. Take a look at the numbers from this fight. Tyson, of course, much more active and much more accurate. As Bone Crusher Smith with only a 23% accuracy, and of course a puncher is going to have a lower accuracy rate, but I don't think Bone Crusher or anybody else thought his would be quite that low. And I think it's strictly born of frustration. I think Mike Tyson just simply frustrated the man. Harold?
Hey, Barry, I saw Mike Tyson winning the fight by 16 points. I had it a shutout. Referee Mills Lane took away 2 points in the second round. He took away a point, and he took away a point in the 8th round from Bone Crusher for holding. But it was one-sided.
That's just about as one-sided a card as I've ever seen. Let's get the official verdict now from Chuck Hall.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is the decision of the judges. Judge Lou Tabbitt scores 120, 106. Judge Jojo Guerra scores 119, 107. And Judge Dalby Shirley scores 119, 107. For the new WBA, WBC heavyweight champion of the world, Iron Mike Tyson.
A popular verdict. At least the result was popular, not so much the way the result was attained. Larry Merchant trying to get his way over to the winner, and still the champion Mike Tyson, and he is with Mike Tyson right now. So let's go up to the ring and Larry Merchant. Larry, you got it.
Hi, Mike. You are now the WBA, WBC champion, the only heavyweight champion now in the world. Do you feel satisfied after that fight?
Well, I feel good, but I don't feel satisfied. But as you know, he was just trying to survive. I thought he was going to come out there and try to beat me up, like he said. So he was going to try to win.
Could you tell very early in the fight that he couldn't hit you with any punches? He was frustrated and he was just going to hold on?
You know what else? I noticed when I threw my jab, I was hitting him with my jab, and I was hurting him with my jab. But I feel like, you know, he didn't want to fight. He didn't want to win. He didn't want to win at all.
Was there anything you think you could have done to break him down? For example,